just talking about how these movies have been a part of our lives for so long, perhaps even longer for you. I mean, what does it mean to you to be celebrating the Avatar legacy all these years later?
It's a gift. It's a humbling experience for me. You know, I went into this into this business, into this craft, understanding and always leveling with myself, going, if it doesn't happen, you still have yourself, you have the love for yourself and the love for your family and all of these things, and you have art, you will always have art. And I was a part of amazing projects that were so well received that then they became sagas, you know, with Star Trek and Guardians, but primarily with Avatar. And I know it's not the same and it's so unusual. But I feel so grateful because a lot of what became magical for me started with Avatar.
Wow. Well, in fact, so much has happened, right? In the span of you starring in these films. You became a mom, you won an Oscar. I mean, how special is it going to be to place these milestones, these personal milestones of your journey through these films?
I feel like I live always reprising those memories constantly. I remember how fearless and rebellious and kind of stubborn I was when I booked the first movie. And,
is that right?
And maybe that's what Neytiri also needed to have. I was full of like chutzpah, you know, in Way of Water and Fire and Ash, there was so much, I was so fragile. And still, you know, very defiant, but fragile in the sense of the fear of losing my children, you know, of anything happening to my children while I'm working, while I'm away, and then putting that into Neytiri and multiplying it times 100. Yeah. That way I was able to sort of experience, or at least try to you know, tap into the magnitude of her pain and her fear and her anger and her rage.
Grief.
And her grief, yeah. And I'm just grateful that I work with filmmakers like James Cameron that see my potential and just let me run wild with something, and they just curb me here and there. Because what's left on screen is something that I'm really proud of, and it's something that I can define as a legacy. That now that I'm a mom, I know that I have that for my children, and they know it too. They're already aware of it, and they're so proud of me, and that makes me feel great.
The children! How big of Avatar fans are these kids now?
It's funny, I talk about this with Sam all the time. We have Generation Alpha babies that are kind of too cool for their age right now.
I've got kids like that.
And, right?
Yes.
And, but they're sensitive. So the Avatar movies they have not yet seen. And Jim is a little puzzled because Jim is from a generation that I was also a little bit of that generation of, like, by the time you were 6, you had seen Nightmare on Elm Street, Alien, Terminator, everything.
Beetlejuice even, like stuff like that. I mean, I watched Titanic when I was 9, you know, in the theater.
Oh my God. And you know, but my kids, they're the agents of their own choices, and they'll let us know when they're ready. They're still stuck watching Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler movies, and I'm okay with that.
My entry was Robin Williams and Whoopi Goldberg movies, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then you get into everything, and then you get to Titanic, you know?
Exactly.
I saw the docuseries about the making of these films, and none of this was easy, you know?
If there's something you can do, then you must do it.
It's a tall order for anybody, for cast and crew making these films, but you mentioned before we started rolling that you are a nerd for this movie and making it too. In fact, you've called performance capture the most empowering form of acting.
Yes.
Also.
Well, it keeps me connected completely with my fellow actors, and I'm not, all of my energy goes into, and my heart goes into the moment and what we are going through as characters, and it's not diluted. Sometimes, you know, live action can dilute you a little bit with the weighting, with the arrangements, with the props, with all of these things, and I'm not saying that performance capture doesn't give you the ability to be attached to keepsakes, that props and things like that you may need, because you very well use them, but they're not so many that you have to keep count, and sometimes you spend a lot of your time and energy doing that, and so it has been a gift. I think that yes, everything seems seemed impossible in theory, but we're being led by James Cameron, the man that defies, you know, gravity, who's a scientist in his own right.
Yeah, wants to film underwater.
Absolutely. Well, and to create a story like Terminator, where you would see all the premonitions that today we're sort of like, now we're starting to talk about on a daily basis. And so this is a man that has tapped into a frequency that is very much his own, but very much our own as well, because that's how he connects with the rest of us. So if he can do it, then why can't I? And it's a form of encouragement to work with someone like James Cameron, because you end up amazing yourself.
It's just like you really prove to yourself, like, you
I
almost
can breathe
can't believe
underwater.
I do it. Exactly.
I'm an archer. I can speak a foreign humanoid language.
That's
Like, are you
so
kidding?
cool. He led y'all through the fire, quite literally.
Yeah.